Welcome to this episode of ISV Talks. I'm Carol Livingston of Dynamics Connections and your host of ISV Talks. And on this episode, I have Louisa Gooding from Acumatica, and she's joining me today to talk about the upcoming Acumatica Summit in early 2024. So welcome, Louisa.
Thank you so much for having me today, Carol. I'm really excited to talk to everyone about Summit 2024.
Yeah, it's great. I am so excited. I got my reservations in, so I'm excited to see you and everyone. So tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of what's your role at Acumatica and what else you do.
Sure, I'd be happy to. So I have a long-standing relationship with Acumatica that goes back before I was even an employee here. My job, I worked for an ISV, and my job was to identify partners that we would like to work with. And Acumatica jumped out at me from the beginning, being a pure cloud built from the ground up. Everything about their partner ecosystem just appealed to me. So this is, I think, my 10th or 11th summit. The first few will be going
Okay.
as a partner, as exhibiting, and then I've been with Acumatica for a little over 7 years now. So I'm really excited. I think I was employee number 200 and something, and I believe we're closing out the year with close to 1,000 employees. So it's been
My
really
goodness.
exciting part of this rapid growing company.
Yeah, that's a lot of growth in 7 years. Wow.
My role at Acumatica is working with our ISV community, looking for partners that will help extend Acumatica. We really focus on the product and listening to the customers, what they want. But there are things that we just don't have the bandwidth or the expertise, domain expertise for. So,
Yeah.
some like taxes or shipping or EDI. Those are things that there are companies that do really, really well. And we partner with those companies to help extend Acumatica. And when you come to Summit, you'll be able to see over 100 of them exhibiting at Summit this year.
Yeah, that's a lot. I know you also work with AcuConnect, the user group community. Tell us about that too.
Sure, I'm really excited about AcuConnect. And again, going back to my days as an ISV, I was there on day one when AcuConnect was basically formed. We all work with a multitude of different publishers, including Acumatica. We were at an Acumatica conference and we are like, oh, I see you're also in XYZ deal. And they're like, yeah, what is it that you do? And we just started talking about how we all come together in these deals, but we didn't really know each other. So that's
Right.
really how the founding members of AcuConnect got together. They were really
Oh,
just ISVs that were looking to learn more about the other partners involved in deals. And that has expanded over the years to not only be ISVs anymore, it also is VARs, and more importantly, customers make up about a third of the membership of AcuConnect. And I joined the board of AcuConnect about 2.5 years ago.
oh,
I was
okay.
really happy to be asked to join, and it's something I'm passionate about because it's not about selling; it's about educating. So it's really
Mm.
they have wonderful they have wonderful webinars, they have great podcasts. They have you're a member, Carol, and I believe
Yeah.
you're even on it. It's a great community.
hmm Yeah, and I know they have their annual event too, which is all education based. And so, yeah, that's great. I'm also just recently joined one of the committees of volunteering. So I'm excited to be part of supporting that community at AcuConnect. Yeah, and thank you
For
for
those
your role
people
too and that leadership you're providing.
Thank you. Thank you. And then for those people attending the event, we will AcuConnect will have a meeting on Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock. I don't have the room, but when you go to your app, you'll be able to see the AcuConnect event. And it's open to everybody. And it's about an
Okay.
hour long. We honor some people that have gone above and beyond by contributing to AcuConnect. We also talk about what is the basis of AcuConnect, and then meeting new members. We regularly pick up new members at Acumatica
Right.
Summit at the AcuConnect
Yeah.
event. And AcuConnect will also have a lot of the founding members will be doing a passport where there's going to be valuable prizes for visiting all of their booths. So they're encouraging
Lovely.
people to visit a multitude of booths. And the nice thing about AcuConnect is it's truly collaborative. You'll see multiple different credit card processors. They're supporting each other because it's Acumatica.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That sounds like fun. I can't wait to be there and participate. So tell us a little bit about Acumatica Summit. You kind of mentioned the Sunday afternoon event. What is it and where is it and when is
So,
it?
so it's in 50 days. It's technically on our website. It says it kicks off on Sunday, January 28th, but it really kicks off the day before on Saturday. with our hackathon. This is a tremendous event. It's a 2-day, and it has grown in popularity. It is not just for developers, and I can't stress that enough, because we want to make the products user-friendly. So what we do is you need to have creative people that are thinking, what would make my use of Acumatica? And it's some of the events is really cool. If you don't participate in hackathon, highly encourage you to go on Sunday, when they'll be presenting all the apps that have been developed and then awarding prizes for those.
Last year, it seems like it's a real team event, right? Everybody picks a team name, and it sounds like they kind of really get into it as far as like the competitiveness and fun.
It is really a team event, which is why it's important to not just have developers, but to have creative people, actual users, and it's open to everybody. So I highly encourage people to, if you can, get in the day before. I believe it kicks off at noon on Saturday.
On Saturday, the 27th. Okay.
Yep.
But the conference itself starts on January 28th, 2024. Yep. Okay.
Kicks off on Sunday, and we are continuing with our tradition of kicking it off with a big gala in the exhibit hall. So it's an opportunity to see old and new friends, see old friends and meet new ones, while going around, having a cocktail, seeing all the different exhibitors. I should point out that the exhibit hall is open through Tuesday. The exhibit hall is open all day, every day, except during the keynotes on Monday and Tuesday.
That's nice, because if people, have a break or in between sessions, they can go and stop by. And it's not as busy as like the reception, it's like really busy because lots of people are there visiting the different sponsors and exhibits. So,
Yep. It's a great way to kick off this really fun event. And this year we've changed things up. We used to go from Sunday to Tuesday afternoon, but this year, based on demand, we've expanded to continue the summit right through Wednesday. So the exhibit hall is open from Monday to Tuesday, and then the summit itself will have breakout sessions Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So there's a lot of great activities. Starting out Monday morning, we have yoga, there's the fun runs, there's all kinds of activities, aside from the all-important breakout sessions and keynotes.
Great. And where is it again? It's still in Las
Vegas?
In
Las Vegas again at the Wynn. Last year we did win an award it's called the Global Award for Event of the Year. So really exciting. A small company like Acumatica, and by small we have well north of 10,000 customers, and that's brand name, not users. It's always important to point that out, because a lot of our people, we have 100,000 customers, but that's users.
Yep, those users. Yeah, that's quite. I've seen the growth over the last few years. So I'll be excited to hear. Maybe we'll get an idea of where we're at today with Acumatica customers. Yeah, and the Wynn is a great location. I'd say if you are planning to register, if you haven't already, register and then go immediately and get your room reservation, because those rooms kind of fill up quickly.
They do, and the special code that you'll get for the discount does have a limited number of people that can sign up. So absolutely get room booked right away.
It's a beautiful location too. It's like amazing. That hotel's amazing.
And I have to say, the food, we do provide all the food and breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, except for Wednesday we stop after lunch. The food is fantastic, and all the food will be available in the exhibit hall. So it's another opportunity to get in the exhibit hall, sit down, talk to some people.
Yep. Yeah, I remember they brought out tables. You have a place to sit down. You don't have to feel like you can stand. I mean, they have like tabletop where you can stand too. But I remember, that was a great way to meet people and sit and chat, breakfast and lunch. Both.
So, it is. It is a great event. And I'm going to apologize. I misspoke, because I completely forgot that Tuesday night we have our big gala, which also is wonderful food, a great opportunity to meet with your old friends and socialize, meet new ones. There's dancing, there's a DJ. It's a lot of fun, and again, spectacular food.
Great. I'm looking forward to it. I know last year I was planning to attend, but I was so tired from just walking and talking with everyone. So this year I'm planning to attend.
Yes, I actually have switched to wearing sneakers, because walking from event to event, and I
Yeah.
remember I didn't, all the keynotes are phenomenal. We kick off Monday with the keynote with John. He'll have some customers coming up on the stage, and then Tuesday for the keynote, really focus on all the improvements. And we'll be talking about the 2024 R1 release, which is the great new additions to the solution. And I believe I mentioned this to you before, Carol, that Acumatica is different than any other ERP out there in that we really listen to our customers when it comes to planning our roadmap. We encourage both customers, partners, VARs, ISVs to go to the Acumatica community, and there's a place where you can make a suggestion, and those suggestions are voted on by everybody, and that's what makes it into our roadmap for the following year.
Yeah, that's one thing that it helps to kind of see that the keynote where they're talking about the new features and to know that they came from users and the community. Yeah, that's great. Just kind of maybe just highlight what's kind of different, I guess, about Acumatica Summit than other user events.
I think that the fact that we make it so that ISVs, VARs, and customers can all attend and benefit from being at the event. So when you look at your schedule, when you start making your schedule, the breakout sessions really are tailored to different groups. Like we have the demo palooza for all the different editions, which is fantastic for the VARs to learn how to demo the product. But then we'll have breakout sessions that are, how do I close my books are easier. So there'll be breakout sessions that are geared towards the end user. And we have events for potential customers. There are ISV events, how do I find new endpoints? The hackathon is awesome for the ISVs. So we have a lot of different events that are tailored to the different attendees. I know we talked about this before, but for the attendees, once you sign up, make sure you download the app from either Google Play or the App Store, and you just download Acumatica events and then select Summit 2024. And that's where you can sign up for the different breakout sessions. It's also one of the things that I love best about it is anyone who's registered will have their name on there, and you can contact other attendees directly through the app, which, right now it's a little slow, but it will start as we get closer and closer to Summit. It really starts to pick up, and it makes it easy for you. When you've met somebody, you can send them a text or through the app and just say, hey, great to meet you. Look forward to seeing you wherever your next event is, or whatever the next call to action is.
Yeah, I think the app that's one thing I think is unique about Acumatica. That app was really great for networking. It was amazing because I do find it's hard to, meet people you haven't met before and connect with them, and everybody's using it, then it makes it beneficial for you to reach out and say, hey, let's meet for coffee or in between a break or at lunch. Let's sit together. So definitely. And what are the tracks? You mentioned that there's a lot of different tracks.
The nice thing, Carol, you don't have to stay on a track. You can sign up for whatever breakout sessions that is applicable to you. And you can either go to the Acumatica website and you can see the agenda there, and there's a brief description, or you can do it with the app. For the app, you have to expand to see what the description is, but it will tag what it's about. So if it's about the endpoints or construction, it will tag that's what it's about. So you can sort and say, I'm in construction, I'm only interested in construction tracks, and filter it that way.
Yeah. And that I think you and I talked about that might be actually something too. The some of those customer sessions are edition tracks, kind of like a sub track. So if you're interested in construction or retail or manufacturing, you've got your own kind of group and specifically to that topic, right? That you might be interested in.
And we also have several of our exhibitors are also doing breakout sessions within the exhibit hall. And last year we tested this out, and it worked extremely well to have the presenters have a headset on, and the listeners or the attendees are wearing earphones, and they can hear what they're saying without having to hear all the noise around you. So it's a great way to learn, get a more in-depth understanding of some of our ISV partners and how they extend Acumatica. We also will have some of our ISV partners participating in breakout sessions. So if you're interested in manufacturing, you definitely want to listen in on when eWorkplace Apps is presenting, be it for their process manufacturing or quality management solution. And they'll be joining the breakout session for manufacturing.
Right. So,
and that would apply across all the different editions that they'll have. partners who are industry specific joining us.
Mhm. Are there other sessions besides just the breakout sessions, like workshops?
The one that I think is probably most unique, if you haven't registered for it yet, make sure you sign up, is Women in Technology Luncheon.
All right. Yep.
Always have great keynote speakers. And in addition, we also have some women in tech that are from our own ecosystem. Actually, president of Acumatica, Liz Anderson, who's recently moved to Solver, she's going to be one of the presenters. I'm really excited because she, to me, represents exactly what
Oh,
women in
yeah.
tech do.
Liz Anderson. Yeah, she's great.
She wants to lift everybody up. So,
Mhm.
and she's done an amazing job. If you look at her track record through starting back when she was with Avalera, and she went to APS and Repay, and now with Solver. She really represents the best of women in tech.
Yeah, excellent. So on the general sessions or keynote speakers and sessions, tell us a little bit about that. What to expect? You said there's kind of no expo hall during that time, but what should the audience or attendees expect, and what's covered during those sessions?
So the first day, it will be really kind of an overall view of Acumatica, where we were last year, where we've gotten to this year. As I said, we have some of our customers' success stories come up on stage and talk about how Acumatica was
Yeah,
able
that's
to
neat.
solve their problems and add value to their business. And then day two, we really get into the nitty gritty of the product. So we'll talk about the 2024 R2 launch, R1 launch. And then we have the different edition product managers will get up on stage and talk about what's new for that specific edition. And you asked one of the things earlier, what's different about Acumatica? I think that we have this core that's Acumatica, but on top of that, we've added modules to make it very industry specific. And our construction edition is our newest one, and there's nothing like it on the market. So it's pure cloud, built from the ground up. It's available on every device, and they're always adding new features and functionality. And we also will talk about some of the new partners that we brought into the ecosystem specifically for different editions. So I don't want to steal anyone's thunder, but there's some really great announcements coming on Tuesday.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. I love the customer stories, and I also enjoy the recognition, of not only customers, but bars or partners you work with. So that's great. And one of the things that's kind of going back to the tracks you mentioned, like for new customers or prospective customers, I mean, there's going to be something for them too, right? Like they're just
Absolutely.
checking it out. Maybe they want to see what's available in Acumatica and talk to other users and attend some
We actually
sessions
have
for
a customer
new.
panel that will take place on Monday. That's a great opportunity. It's an open dialogue. We'll have some of our customers up on stage talking about their business again and how Acumatica helps solve some problems and add value. But it's going to be an open dialogue. So prospective customers get the opportunity to say, what else did you look at? Why did you pick Acumatica? Does it do X, Y, Z? So that's a really great one. And that takes place on Monday.
Okay, perfect. And I think you already talked about what's new for this year. Is there anything else besides an extra day that's been added to the conference to expand the number of days?
Well, one of the things that by expanding by another day and moving our big gala from Monday night to Tuesday night, it frees up Monday night for customers and bars and partners to get together and have their own little event. And that's something that we heard regular feedback that it was, they didn't have enough time things outside of all the action. So now we have given them that ability.
Yeah, so there's more time to do customer events or to participate with sponsors. And I do think that, I even remember last year some of the partners saying that they meet with their teams because this is a good time to get together because they don't see each other regularly. So they maybe even have a team event or a team dinner. So,
And Carol, I have to say that's one of the things that I'm going to miss. In the past, we used to have an Acumatica team on Tuesday night, and just because of the size of the company, that we're such a global company, to get our team from Sri Lanka or Moscow to come to Vegas, it's just not achievable. So we've eliminated.
Yeah, 1,000 employees. That's a challenge. Yeah, so I get that. Tell us what it's like to attend Summit. Kind of like, what's the vibe, and has that changed over the years? Do you think now it's grown?
It's definitely changed over the years. I'll just say I was at one of my first summits was in Boulder, Colorado. I think there was maybe 50 of us. We had a
Okay.
couple of tables for those of us that were exhibiting. There were a couple of long tables in the entryway where we had our exhibit booth, and there was just a handful of bars. So it's really evolved from being a bar focused training, trying to bring on bars. Back then it was an unknown entity. Now we're getting recognition
Yeah.
by everybody. So
Yeah.
we're no longer having to overcome the brand recognition. So,
Yeah.
and we've switched from being just a partner focus. Now it's ISVs, it's customers, it's prospects. And that was based on demand from the customers and bars and prospects. They wanted to learn more about it and felt like they were being excluded. So now it's all inclusive. There's absolutely something for everyone. And we've also kind of, as we've grown and matured, we've gone from that tabletop I mentioned in the hallway with just a dust cover over it to now we have these beautiful booths that have big screen TV. There's consistency in the messaging, there's consistency in the imaging. So it's not like somebody who has a big budget can outdo somebody else because
Right.
it's all consistent. So it's more about for exhibiting the
Yeah.
product than having the flashing lights and
Yeah.
great.
That's how many sponsors do you have?
Yeah, it's grown 10% this year. So we're using 3-inch, and I think there's only 1 or 2 sponsorships available, but people are looking at. So this is the earliest we've ever sold out.
Oh,
And
okay.
and for exhibitors, people that are exhibiting, we have done in the past and we'll do again, is we give you the opportunity to sign up for 2025, which I know sounds crazy since that's a year and 50 days away. But it gives you the ability to lock in your pricing. We decide the booth selection is based on the level of your sponsorship followed by the order in which you signed up. So there's a big advantage of signing
that's fair.
up.
Yeah. So that helps to kind of then get in early so you can get your spot. Yeah. And it's the space isn't big enough to accommodate everything in one ballroom. I remember last year there was kind of a hallway in between. So there's
Yes, unfortunately we have to expand just because of the nature of the summit growing every year. We expect significantly more attendees. We just need more space.
One thing too, I remember there was banners that said this is like construction. So there was kind of some themes or groups around.
We will do the same. That in theory, we'd like the exhibitors to pick a booth that's close to the edition that's most relevant to them. So that way, if somebody is looking for at the retail edition, they're going to be able to see Shopify right there.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. But their sales tax, they might not be needing to be next to any particular booth, but
yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. What other tips? I know you said you download the app, do some pre-planning, look at the sessions. I know Women in Tech, you have to register for that luncheon because it's limited space. And so you want to register for that as early as possible. Get your hotel room.
Yes, we did have that problem last year where there weren't enough hotel rooms.
There wasn't. Yeah, I waited to the last minute and I had to be at an offsite hotel. And wear comfortable shoes. You said you were wearing tennis shoes. That makes me laugh because I think I ended up downsizing my shoes by the second day because there's a lot of time on your feet and walking, and so.
Yep, there's a lot of walking. Another advantage of that app is the maps. I found that when you're going to a room that you haven't been in, it's awesome to have the map. And you have to plan accordingly, though, because it's a big space with a lot of meeting rooms.
Yeah, and some are upstairs, some are downstairs. I remember, you have to kind of get oriented. That might be a good thing to do after you register is kind of break out that map and kind of get familiar where to go.
Look at the exhibitors. If you are either a bar or a customer, to take the time to look at who's exhibiting and really map out who it's critical to speak with. I encourage people, as we talked about Sundays, there's the cocktail party in the exhibit hall, which is kind of loud. There's a lot of people. We haven't seen each other in a year. So I don't think you get the nitty-gritty answers that you might want. So really think about planning a time to go into the exhibit hall to meet with the partners that you feel will add value to your business.
Yeah, that's a good advice. I know, especially if people bring a team from their company, maybe they kind of divide and conquer, right? Like which sessions do we want to go to? What problems are we trying to solve? And who do we talk to? And definitely involve your partner in that discussion because they can walk you around, they can introduce you to some of those third party add ons, and they can also make recommendations of sessions to attend. So, but I do feel like people will kind of say, well, you go to this session, I'll go to that one, and kind of debrief afterwards.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot going on. So there will be competing sessions that both might be of interest. We try our best to not have competing sessions, but it's
Yeah.
going to happen depending on what if you're a VAR or if you're
Yeah.
a customer. There might
Are any of the sessions recorded?
the keynotes are recorded, but the
Okay.
break sessions are not.
Okay. All right. So that's good to know. So it may be worthwhile bringing a couple team members, not just
Yes.
yourself. Because yeah, there was a lot of good sessions. I sometimes I was like, I want to go to this panel, but I also want to go to this breakout session. So yeah.
There's so much good content. I was just actually downloaded the app myself the other day and was flipping through trying to figure out
Yeah.
if I go to the sessions but have my meetings and which one's more important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How many sessions are there this year? Do you know?
No, Carol, I don't know offhand. I know that there are dozens of sessions every day and multiple sessions at the same time.
Okay, awesome. As people attend Summit, is there a hashtag or social media they can follow, to see pictures or to maybe post pictures
Actually,
while
post
they're
things
there?
right
Yeah.
on your app, which is
Okay, right from your app. Oh, awesome.
which is really cool.
Hashtag Acumatica Summit. Okay, great. Yeah, and I like to take pictures. I like to get pictures with people at their booths or around the conference. So yeah, that's a great thing. I know last year I met people just like at breakfast. And then later on, I see them later on, like, because I'd meet customers. I'm like, well, what are you here for? Why are you, what are you looking for? And then I'd see them later and I'd say, check in and say, hey, how's that going? And oh, by the way, I met someone over here. Maybe you want to meet. And I, kind of try to introduce them to someone. So yeah, it's a great way. Don't miss the breakfast. I know like it's tiring. It's got emails, you got to do things, but try to be present as much
Yeah,
as possible and hang out at breakfast and lunch and the events.
absolutely. There's so many, as you rightly said, the breakfast is amazing, or even lunch, just sitting down with people you don't know. I intentionally try to make sure I don't sit with Acumatica people because I know them. So
Yeah,
I like
right.
meeting new people, being a
Mhm.
customer or a VAR or ISV. It's really fun to meet somebody and learn what they're doing, why they came to
Yeah.
Acumatica Summit.
Yeah, that's really interesting to find out what people are interested in. And I did talk to people that were existing customers and brand new ones that were looking maybe at implementing Acumatica in their business, and they wanted to come and talk to other users. And
That is one
so
of the things that you hit the nail on the head there. Being able to speak with other people. What did you do? What was the
right.
problem to solve? They may not have ever thought of doing something. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that we now that I hope COVID is kind of behind us, we have started having user groups again. So again,
Oh,
going back to the Acumatica community, you can sign up for user groups there in your region. Typically, we really want to focus on the user. So every user
okay.
group has user sponsors. They'll also have an Acumatica sponsor and as well as potentially a VAR sponsor. But it's really those events are focused on users and their experience and how you can give somebody tips or tricks. Oh, did you know about the side panels? I use them all the
Right.
time because of the XYZ.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity to network with other Acumatica users.
Yeah, yeah, but I remember there was space on the Acumatica has on the exhibitor hall, and you can go up and talk to someone, and they can kind of walk you through and show you Acumatica and what it looks like. And so that was really neat.
Yes, yes, I definitely encourage people to stop by. They can learn what's new, they can ask questions, and it's a very knowledgeable group that will be
Yeah,
in that booth. And it is divided up, as I said, those banners in the Acumatica booth, so you can identify. I need to talk to somebody in retail
okay.
or manufacturing, construction, so you can get
Yeah.
to the right group of people without having to say, "Who can I talk to about this?" It's pretty clear who they are.
Yeah, good. Now I'm getting so excited about attending this year. Is there any kind of last minute thoughts that we didn't cover that you want to share?
Just if you haven't registered yet, get registered as quickly as possible. Start signing up for the breakout sessions. Read through them, the ones that are applicable, because there is a limited space. I did mention the Women in Tech, that always sells out. So there are a lot of sessions will be absolutely packed. So it's good to sign up early if there's something that you think is critical for your knowledge base, that you sign up early for it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Louisa, for joining us today on this episode of ISV Talks. I'm so excited to go to Acumatica Summit here in January 2024. And I'm looking forward to seeing you and everyone there.
Well, Carol, thank you so much for having me. And I am really excited to see you at Summit as well in just a few short weeks. I can't believe it's only 50 days away. If anyone has any questions, I'm always happy to help them. If I can't answer, I can get you in touch with the appropriate person to answer your questions. So you can email me at louisa.gooding@acumatica.com. Again, I can't stress enough how important it is to download the app and start using it, registering, seeing what events you want to go to. So you just go to Apple Play, Google Play, or the App Store, download Acumatica events, and within that, just select the Summit, Acumatica Summit 2024. And then if you haven't registered, go to the Acumatica website and just type in Summit under the search, and it will bring you to the registration page. So really look forward to seeing everyone in Vegas on January, if not the 28th, maybe the 27th for the hackathon.
Right? I love that. You don't have to be, technical developer. You can just come and have some fun and be creative, right? So
yeah, it's a great. We actually have our own internal hackathon in June, and the teams that regularly win are ones that have like customer success people on the team, because they understand the usability and the visual.
right?
But see
Yeah.
something as opposed to the technical person who builds it out.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes a team for sure.
Exactly.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you, everyone. So we'll see you next time on the next episode, friends of ISV Talks. But hopefully, I'll see you at Summit in Las Vegas. Bye bye.
Bye.